Who in the bullpen is most likely to talk the entire game?
Well, Luke Jackson probably still has more words said in that bullpen than anyone else. He could talk the whole game without taking a breath, and he'll have story after story after story. And if he was out of the room or pitching or something, we'd look at each other like, "You think that story's real?"
This is Rangers Deep in the Heart, your all-access pass to life in the big leagues with personal moments and heart-to-heart chats with Rangers players, their families, and staff. This show is brought to you by Justin Boots, the official boot of the Texas Rangers. I'm your host, Hannah Wing. Hey everybody, and welcome into the Season 2 finale of Rangers Deep in the Heart. Today I'm joined with left-handed pitcher Jake Latz, who has had a variety of roles with Texas this season. We have so many things to talk about, and I'm really glad this actually worked out because, Jake, third time is the charm. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. We had a few mess-ups along the way, just schedule changes, and all in good fun, though. I was notified that I had to start, I think, twice now, and so, just try to do everything to prepare for that, but here we are now.
Yeah, we made it. Third time is the charm, but let's talk about that for a second. So, August 27th, we had it on the calendar. We're ready to rock. And then the night before, I got the text at 10:30, but when did you find out you were starting that game?
Honestly, I think I got it like 10 minutes before that. I was leaving the field and I still didn't know. The security guy in the garage was just like, "Hey, are you starting tomorrow?" I'm like, "No idea," because there was an open spot, and then Mike called me a couple minutes later and notified me. So there was rumblings, and I had a gut feeling that I was going to, but it wasn't official until late in the night. So
the security guard in the parking garage.
Yeah.
Wow. What did that do for you mentally once you got that call from Mad Dog that it was happening probably within 12 to 16 hours?
Yeah, I mean, I think I was just anticipating that I was going to get the opportunity. And if I didn't, so be it. And if I do, it's kind of like, all right, you just kind of step in the moment and let the day be its own thing, and just start preparing from that point on like I would any of the other previous starts that I had that year. But really not too much is different. I just like to try to keep a singular focus and keep the day as kind of light and calm as I can before ultimately game time. Try to conserve as much stress and energy that you can. So
you feel pretty calm, cool, and collected every time I've interacted with you. Is that how you truly are at home as well, especially gearing up for a start?
Yeah. I mean, there'll be times where I'm like listening to music and kind of like more excited, or if I've had coffee a lot in the morning, I'll definitely show a little bit more emotion, but I've always been that way. I'm definitely introverted. It's just my nature, I guess. My mom and dad are very talkative and very personable and outgoing, and I just, for whatever reason, have always been a little bit more laid back and kind of just, just keep to myself a little bit, but it's not something I want to force to like get outside of my own, being basically. So yeah, that's what it is.
How many cups of coffee did you have before this interview?
Only one so far.
Okay, only one. So far?
So far, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a big coffee drinker. Getting moved to the bullpen too upped my caffeine intake because it helps you kind of stay on the ready for that time when the phone rings. But it's something I never really dove into until 2020. Even through college, I tried it a little bit, didn't really do anything for me, so I kind of just never drank coffee. And then 2020 hit, and for whatever reason, I actually got the caffeine rush, and I was like, all right, and I started being more productive and got hooked on it pretty quickly.
What's your go-to coffee order?
Really simple, just plain black coffee, but I do enjoy French press. So if I'm at home, I'll do that, or if I look to go to a coffee shop, I'll do French press or a pour over. Those to me have a little bit more of a smoother taste to it.
I love that. Yeah. Well, Jake, you've spent a majority of this season up with the major league team. What has been your biggest point of emphasis in 2025?
Yeah, I think just being consistent. To navigate a full season of baseball is tough because there's moments throughout the year where things are just going really well and it seems effortless, it seems easy, and then out of nowhere you just get out of rhythm or out of whack, and it's hitter, pitcher dependent. It's the same thing. And so just trying to like continually stay in a routine, but always staying more so like putting the work in to get better. Like say you have a good outing, it's easy to just be like, all right, I'm going to keep it all the same, not really like push myself or do anything different. Not that you're trying to do something different, but there's a way about it of trying to like continuing to reach a new level that I think helps stay in a longer period of success. But then just the schedule and the travel and every game is every day, and it matters a lot that it kind of catches up to you. So it's just battling that dynamic is the area that I've been trying to just ride out as long as I can.
Well, I'm excited to talk more baseball with you later on in the show, but we have to dive into some fun questions to start things off. Who are your college and NFL teams since now it's officially football season?
Yeah, I'm not tied to LSU. I started my college career there, and then I transferred to Kent State. And so after leaving LSU, I wasn't, fully invested in them anymore, but I'll still root for them if they're good. And Kent State is like, they're one of the worst Divisional I football programs ever. So I always celebrate a win when they get it. But if there is a team I would root for, it'd still be the LSU Tigers. And NFL, it's the Bears, unfortunately, there. So my football teams are not really that special. It's been a tough ride for the Bears. It's I don't know, it's probably similar to the Cowboys fans. They just played each other this weekend, and it's like the feeling I think that Cowboys have after this one is similar to what the Bears feel like on a given week basis. So it's like we ride that high now of the win. It's like, oh, we're back, and the Bears are going to do it to next week. If they lose, it's like all hope is lost. Yeah. So it's kind of funny that way to just like live that season of emotional whirlwinds with the Bears, because it's every single season. There's no consistency. There's no like predictability on what's going to happen. So that's cool. But yeah, I mean, it's been more bad than good being a Bears fan.
That's so funny. Are you taking part in any fantasy football in the Rangers clubhouse this year?
Yeah, we have a good league going. Patrick Corbin is the commissioner of that one. And there's been a lot of activity going on there, so a lot of trades already, which is what you want to see. And my team is Jordan Teagues, our bullpen coach, is the GM. Chris Martin is the owner. And then me and Webby are kind of just there to help when's needed. They didn't trust my opinion, which is fine, but whatever. Hopefully I'll contribute to a good trade or a good waiver ad at some point.
So the four of you are kind of managing your own team.
Yes. That's
fun. I like that.
Yeah.
Can you share what your team name is?
Yeah, it's called Three Guys, One Latz.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you can interpret that however you want, but I'll leave it at that.
Well, I appreciate you sharing, because every year when I ask that question, people never tell me their team names. So I'm glad that you're so open and honest.
There haven't been that many crazy names this year. That one's up there. But yeah.
So does the bullpen have their own league going then?
So we started another league. It's called like the Cutthroat League or a Guillotine League, and it's basically all the teams that are in it. Every single week, the team with the lowest score is removed from the league, and their team gets added to the free agency waiver wire or whatever. That's the first time I've done a league like that, and it's been a lot of fun. So there was 18 teams to start. Now we're down to 15, and I'm still in it. So, but I also spent all my money in that league. So I'm kind of just handcuffed the rest of the way. But we'll see.
You're like, I'm just hoping for the best at this point.
Hey, if I can buy myself to like week 10, 11, and then once there's enough players that you could pick up someone without having to spend money. We'll see. I don't want to give away too much of my...
That's okay. I understand.
My plans here, yeah.
Who in the Rangers clubhouse talks the most smack when it comes to fantasy football?
When it comes to fantasy football, I mean, Jock's up there.
I could see that.
Yeah, Jock's very into it, and he's made already a few trades. Some of them have worked, some of them haven't. So it's been back and forth. It was pretty much just him talking smack the whole time so far. But I think this last week his team didn't really do too well. So now it's giving back. Smitty will give him some smack back, and Corbin's there. Not the biggest smack talker, but he'll give some insight when needed. And everyone's still kind of contributing though a little bit here and there. So it's been good.
I'm sure it's fun for the clubhouse camaraderie too.
Yeah, it helps.
I love that.
This time of year is crazy with all that going on. But it definitely helps the talk in the clubhouse kind of grow and get better. So.
Do you guys have any crazy punishments for the teams that lose?
We haven't talked about that yet. My friend's fantasy group or fantasy league we do back home, like my high school friends and whatnot, and so the last place there is usually has to do something pretty stupid, but in this one we haven't yet. No.
What's been the craziest fantasy football punishment you've heard of?
That I've heard of? There's one where the person has to go on a date either with like a doll, like a blow up doll, or like pretend to go on a date with no one and just talk to an open chair. And so whoever's there has to like record it and just observe other people's
That's
like
amazing.
reactions to it. But that one's up there for sure. I think that one's hilarious. And then there's also just, a bunch of, crazy, stupid ones that a lot of guys would think of doing. So, yeah.
Well, on that note, let's answer some fan questions, Jake.
Cool.
So first of all, hopefully it's not a fantasy football question.
That would.
Are the guys on the team more cat people or dog people?
Definitely more dog people. There's a few in there. I mean, John Gray's he's got a few cats. I think he's got at least
circus.
3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
But he also has dogs too.
Yeah.
So it's like no one's fully cat person.
Okay.
But definitely more dog people.
Yeah. That makes sense. Let's see. I know you're a golfer, but which player could win a major golf tournament based on what you've seen so far?
I mean, it really pains me to say, but Cole win, unfortunately.
Cole win.
Yeah. I hate giving him credit, but he is pretty good.
He is. All right, and our final fan question for the 2025 season. I was hoping we'd pick this one. If you could take any teammate's car for a joyride, who would you pick and why?
Oh, well, I'm going to go with the Dulles. He just got a new Porsche 911 it's really, I mean, it would be one of my dream cars. I'm not going to go the Tesla or the Cybertruck route that we have with Jock and Luke Jackson earlier in the year, but I think a Dulles would take the cake on that one.
I could see that. I feel like he just has really good taste and style, and he likes the finer things in life, so I respect it.
Yeah, no, he's not going to buy something that's not worth driving, so yeah.
I love that. Built for the bold, the Frontier collection from Justin blends classic Western style with modern edge. With sleek looks and premium leathers, these boots are ready for anything. Find your Frontier today at justinboots.com. Let's talk about some hobbies and things you like to do off the field. So I love to do my research before these episodes, and you shared with me that you love to travel. Mm-hmm. So out of all the trips you've taken, baseball aside, what has been your favorite trip so far?
I mean, I haven't been out of the country too much. I've only been to South America, and my plan is to get east and go to Europe, but really just New York. I went in 2019, and that was the first time I've ever been to New York. And it was right around Christmas time. So they were setting up the tree at the Rockefeller Center, and where we were staying was right in Times Square, which is very touristy, but then I started to like venture off and go to Brooklyn. And that's just something, I just, growing up in Chicago, I loved the big city feel. And going to New York was like, okay, Chicago seems tiny compared to this. And I was just kind of caught up with everything that was going on there. I love the buzz in the city. I love the fact that you can do anything you want. You can get to food, you can get to, shopping, whatever you want to do. And I I loved it. So
Do you always look forward to the New York road trips then?
yeah, definitely. We went twice this year. That was great. So and we stayed pretty close to Central Park. I wasn't there the last time I went. There was the first time I went, and so that was cool to experience Central Park this year too. So it's always fun going there.
When it's going to a different road city, I'm sure you've had meals all over the country, but when you're traveling with the team, what is your favorite meal that you can't wait to have?
Man, nothing particular. I just like to go on my phone and find probably the best steakhouse in the area. And if we have a team dinner, it's gonna be at a steakhouse more often than not. And so I'll always join with that one. But other than that, if I can find a good steakhouse that's got whatever, Wagyu or a tomahawk ribeye or something like that, I'm gonna go and try to get that one. So.
What is the biggest difference traveling personally and traveling with the big league club? Whether it's the logistics, the day-to-day, the flight, like what are your main takeaways from that?
Well, it should be a lot smoother process. I mean, you just get to get off the bus, and if you're on the list to be checked screen security-wise, they'll do that. But if not, you can just go right up to the plane, maybe order some food and sit down and kind of, do what you want without all the harassment or encountering some people that might be like causing a scene on the plane or sitting next to someone you would prefer not to. And for me, I always run into something on a commercial flight, whether it's a delay or a plane breakdown or sitting next to someone that's either like sneezing a lot or it's like looks like they're gonna throw up or whatever. Yeah, so that's a big difference. We unfortunately haven't gotten super lucky with our plane travels this year. It seems like early on the AC was out, and in the heat of summer, sitting on the runway for a while, it was tough.
It
was tough. You had a lot of people kind of just complaining a little bit, but and then we had a few delays along the way. So I think we actually had one where we had to delay a little bit in New York because President Trump was about to fly out in front of us, so he got priority, I think.
Makes sense.
But, yeah, it does a little bit. But yeah, no, I mean, just being able to go right up to the plane is, you can't top that. So
it's funny you mentioned the other people at airports, because I saw a meme the other day on Instagram and it said, wow, I had no idea everyone's first day living on planet Earth was at the airport today, because no one knows what to do.
It's crazy, like the stuff that you encounter at the airports now. I mean, we've lived in a social media world now for the past couple decades, and it still is mind-blowing to me, like especially a Southwest flight where, I mean, they've had the boarding, scheme in place for however many years now, and people will go up there and they're like, oh, I have seat A20. It's like, no, that's your boarding position. It's not that. So
it's tough.
It's a great people watching place.
Oh, it really is.
So, I mean, there's a little give and take.
Yeah, I agree. Well, Jake, this season you spent about 80% of it coming out of the bullpen. So I'm assuming you know the guys in there pretty well. Last Friday was our final Peagle Madness. It was. And your fellow reliever, Hobie Milner, took home the crown. He
did. He kind of cruised his way to the championship, in my opinion, because there were some good ones and there were some not so good ones.
The bad ones are my favorite, though. They are
funny. They are funny. I felt like throughout the year, someone would get like a petty cheer from the crowd and then they would advance just because of how bad it was. But no, Hobie was in the finals there, and then Adolis is playing right field there, but he's to our left in the bullpen. So you can, all the people around there, like in the outfield seats, are gonna cheer for him. And with the Hobie right there, I didn't really know who was gonna win it because
it was close.
Yeah, Adolis was really good. I felt like Hobie's was solid too. He just made it a little smaller than Adolis's, so I just felt like Adolis is gonna honestly take the cake on that one too. And then Hobie had a good cheer, and his reaction in the bullpen was great too, as the camera pans to him and we're all clapping for him. So it was a good moment for him and a good way to end the City Connects.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy those are wrapping up, but it was funny looking down. So I'm obviously hosting the segment I'm looking at the video boards, I'm getting cued in my ear, and I glance down to the bullpen, and all of you guys are on the mound, like, trying to get the crowd involved.
Yeah. Well,
amazing.
there was a couple people on the balcony there that were like chanting Hobie, Hobie. And so we were like, egging him on a little bit to keep him going. And then when he ultimately won, it was just a funny moment. It's kind of like when the dot race goes where everyone's cheering for that.
I love that. Well, hey, congratulations to Hobie. It just seems like this bullpen is so fun.
Yep.
And before this interview, we were talking about how much this group has really grown together and you really value them as teammates, but friends also. So how would you explain the energy in the Rangers bullpen on any given game?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts about being in the bullpen these last couple of years is just that aspect to it. It's just it really is a brotherhood, but we all push each other when it's time to work. But then, there's a lot of joking around. There's a lot of like keeping it light, random topics that we'll just go on a tangent for, and we'll just banter back and forth. I'll usually, honestly, just feed into the other side, even though I know I'm either completely wrong or I'm BSing them. But just to create more of a conversation and just go back and forth and whatever, add to the drama of it. But yeah, it's just everyone down there is truly being themselves, and it's a good group where we all are fairly different in our own way, but have found a way to kind of just gel as a group. And having the success early on too on the field helped kind of build that chemistry. And it's been one of the better years of playing baseball my whole life because of it. So it's we'll see. Hopefully we can keep most of them intact because it's now end of the year. But yeah, it's just those are the moments that you really hold on to when you're playing a sport like this, is being around a group of guys that you get along with, that are hardworking, that want to go out there and be successful and win at all costs, but then at the same time are able to kind of just keep it light and keep it fun while we're down there trying to navigate 162 games.
So going to those random conversations, what has been the most hilarious or off-the-wall topic that you guys have discussed recently?
Webb is fairly new to fantasy football. I don't want to put him on the spot here, but we're kind of just all talking about the guillotine league where he was in the chop block, and we were trying to see like how his players were doing, and there was like he was rooting for a pass interference on one of the plays because like his receiver, and you don't get points for getting a pass interference call. They just moved the ball forward, like the guy didn't catch it or anything, and he was like celebrating it. And then I forgot who made the comment, if it was Cole or if it was Spores or whatnot. It's like, that is the dumbest comment I've heard this year. And so we kind of just all went back and forth about just, who made the dumbest comment really? And it was this person, or I usually catch heat for that, even though I wasn't in the conversation at all. But no, it's all just little things like that you poke the bear a little bit, and then it just starts a frenzy of stuff. So
it's like everyone just against one person. You don't know who that person's going to be,
right?
But someone in that
bullpen. If you can't take the heat, I mean,
good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
So that actually leads me to our next segment called Reliever Roulette. So I'm going to say a statement about someone, and you just have to say whoever comes to mind first.
Okay.
You ready? So who takes the longest to get loose for a game?
Josh Spores. Even though he hasn't played yet this year, it's still him without a doubt.
You feel very strongly about that, I can tell. Who's most likely to eat all of the snacks in the bullpen?
Jacob Webb for sure.
What are the best snacks you guys usually have back there?
Pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
During a game?
Yeah, the kitchen staff will make us a bullpen pizza for the game, every single game, and it's rare that there's some left over.
Who's most likely to run out to the mound the fastest, just take off in a dead sprint?
Hobie's sprint out there is pretty impressive. I got to give him a shout out for that. We called him the thoroughbred earlier. Earlier in the year. One, because he will pitch any day and like go out there and get the job done, which is impressive in its own. But it's just funny because you hear the gate open while we're in the bullpen, and then he just shoots out of the gate and he's gone. And it's like, there he is, he's out of the gates, the thoroughbred. So no, Hobie.
The fastest runner and the best artist on the team. He does it all.
He's pretty impressive. He probably has some hidden talents if you ask him.
I'm sure he does. I'll have to find out about that.
Mm-hmm.
Who is most likely to have the most hardcore walk-up song?
I mean, Armstrong's is pretty great. It's
Isn't it the Coolio one?
Yeah, Gangsta's Paradise, right? Yeah. It's so iconic, but I love the beat, and then the words are pretty good too. And Armstrong, he's very calm and collected, but he's also a guy I don't think you want to get on his bad side either. So I think he brings that kind of aura out there with him. Yeah.
Speaking of walk-up songs, I can't hear that Pump It Up song and not think of you.
Yeah.
Like whenever it comes on at games, people are like, oh, it's Jake Latz, even though it's not at this point.
Right.
So you've changed it, but.
Mm-hmm. Every time I hear it, I think of that too. We added it to our win playlist. It was in there in 23. That was like the first song we played, but this year it's like the third or fourth. So it's always good hearing that. I love the song. It's just when you hear it so often and then it gets overplayed, it loses its energy a little bit. So I had to change it up. I like changing it up. We'll see if I find one that sticks, but yeah.
I love that. And then who's most likely to crack the most jokes in the bullpen during a game?
It's Spores again on that one. Army is sneaky good at jabbing at people and throwing some good heat. So those two are close, but nothing is quite like the banter that Spores will give you. Yeah.
He's hilarious. Like there's been some comebacks he's had to me and I just stand there dumbfounded. I'm like, I don't even know where to go with this.
It's
like,
quick
so
too.
good.
There's no thought. He's got it.
Just naturally funny.
Yeah.
And finally, who in the bullpen is most likely to talk the entire game?
I mean, even though he hasn't been on the team for a couple months now, Luke Jackson probably still has more words said in that bullpen than anyone else. He could talk the whole game without taking a breath, and he'll have story after story after story. And there was at one point where, like, if he was out of the room or pitching something, we'd look at each other like, you think that story's real? So he'd be there. Yeah, I mean, other than that, everyone will give their kind of equal parts nowadays. Yeah, it's no one in particular.
Who do you usually sit next to during a game?
At first, to begin the game, it'll usually be Teagues on the end chair, and then myself or Spores if he's out there, and then Army and Win, and then on down the line like Hobie and Robert will sit at the end. Carvello, when he was there, would sit at the end, so I would sit more towards the door or the mound.
Looking for boots that work just as hard as you do? Justin Boots delivers rugged performance, timeless style, and over 145 years of Western tradition. Find your next perfect pair at justinboots.com. So now let's talk some baseball as the 2025 season is winding down, which is crazy to believe.
It is wild. Went by too fast.
Yeah, the last series at home this year. But you appeared in 32 games this year, 7 of them were starts. As you had that hybrid role, what were the biggest mental adjustments you made kind of toggling between the rotation and the bullpen?
Yeah, I think more just simple stuff, keeping it the same. I think, by going back and forth like that, it made me realize how it really doesn't matter until you get onto the field. A lot of guys will tell you too, as a starter, like you can have your pregame bullpen where it's like you throw every pitch where you want to, and then 10 minutes later you take the mound in the game and nothing's the same. And so like preparing for a start where I know that I'm gonna have to throw 70 pitches plus can get very mentally draining, but I tried to just block that out as much as I could and literally treat every pitch the same and see where I was at the end of it, and not really even like look up in a way, just more, take it pitch by pitch and inning by inning. And then I think that aspect is what, allowed me to continue to go hitter to hitter and pitch later into the games and ultimately put up zeros. So it's just the simple thought is what carries you a long way.
When you're preparing for a start day versus potentially coming in as a reliever, what are your preparation points and how do they differ?
I'll have a little bit more checks and balances that I want to hit as a starter, in terms of getting my body right to play that day, just because, you want to have everything activated so you're not putting too much stress on one area, because you're going to do that. Your delivery, triple the amount that you would as a bullpen pitcher. I still have my stuff I'll do every day. That's what I enjoy most about where I've been at this point in my career with the routine. I'll come in and I'll do stuff in the weight room, at whatever 2 o'clock in the day for a 7 o'clock start. But so by the time I'm ready to kind of like get going for that, I'm already somewhat loose and it doesn't get too overwhelming. And because, everything's like on the clock, I got to get out there by 6:30. I got to throw by 6:40. Got to be on the mound by 6:50. So, and I'm not very good with time either. So
hey, you're on time today, and I appreciate that.
I was. So yeah, it's just little things like that I think if you've done something similar, a la Marcus Semien, if he's in there and he does the same thing every single day, so nothing catches him off guard. And if you have that type of approach, you just take things that might throw you off a little bit easier, because then you can get back on track if you're constantly in that routine.
When you look at the appearances and the outings you've had this season, which one stands out to you that you feel the most proud of?
The Baltimore one was just, it comes to mind right away. We were at the point of the season where it was kind of sink or swim. Like, we were hanging in there. We needed to turn things around. It was 100 degrees out there. It was my first real start since 2022. And I just loved the way that I was able to keep things very calm out there and attack the hitters. And then, I carried a no-hitter into the 6th inning, past the 6th inning, and it was just a day that I'll remember for a while, because of I might not have another outing where I carry a no-hitter into the 6th inning. Like, that's just the way baseball works. So it's that one for sure. But just every opportunity I've had to get out there and start has been pretty great. I'm grateful for that. And just, it's unfortunate where we're at in the season right now, but those outings right there where I can contribute to a team win are pretty special.
I had a feeling that Baltimore was going to be your answer, because that was really, really impressive what you were able to do on the mound that day. Yeah. What was the reaction like from your teammates after that game?
Everyone was very happy for me. They saw that I was able to do it. I think, there's only a few people that knew that I was a starter before getting called up in 23. And so the people that didn't know were like, why aren't you a starter? And I was like, oh, well, I wasn't that good as a starter in the minor leagues and whatnot. So I think it was just in the moment of the heat, and then being able to kind of out of the blue be able to go 6 innings plus without really truly building up for it. You get a little respect for that. So it was cool to see.
Looking at this rotation, when he was healthy, Nathan Eovaldi had an incredible season. Jacob deGrom had an incredible season. Mm-hmm. What do you take away from being in the same pitching staff as those two guys?
A lot. Both those guys I watched on TV in high school and in college even for years, and just kind of like was in awe of what they were able to do on the mound. Eovaldi with Boston when he was a starter, and then ultimately was doing what he did in the playoffs, throwing 100, and then deGrom every year posting, and then being in the same locker room is still a very crazy experience. I think a lot of the young guys share that feeling, but it's cool being on the inside now, seeing how they go about it. and just the type of people that they are too is pretty cool. Like Nate is as helpful of a person as you can be, and he's always available, even though he's dedicated to his craft like no one else I've seen before, and he still has time to give to other people willingly. It's pretty impressive. And DeGrom, I mean, he just he knows exactly what he needs to do to be ready by game day. So he's just someone who's figured out, how his body works and what it is that makes him good. And I mean, I feel like he's still honestly learning as a pitcher, which is pretty incredible. Like he's as good as he is without having all that experience as a kid and, in college, because he wasn't even a pitcher then. So, yeah, it's unfortunate the way it ended for Evo and even DeGrom a little bit, because they were just on an incredible run. But I think they'll bounce back really well next year too, and it'll be cool to see. It'll be cool to see what it has in store for them. I think DeGrom will be even better next year, which is crazy to see. And Eovaldi, he's going to be back to himself too. So, yeah, there's really not enough you can say good about those two, because there are our leaders on the pitching staff, and who better to have than those two.
So obviously this season has been quite the emotional roller coaster. Mm-hmm. But what do Rangers fans have to be excited for in 2026?
Yeah, I think they have to be excited for those two in particular in the starting rotation, and Jack as well. I mean, he did everything you'd want from a first full season as a starter and a rookie, and then the bounce back of our core, players on the position player side. I mean, Corey, he wants to really come back strong next year, and really just everyone is not satisfied with what has gone on this year. And so I think it'll really add to the drive that everyone will have come spring training again in the off season, obviously. But come into the spring next year, I think we'll all be like as hungry as anyone's been to go out there and win. And it'll definitely drive us to get back to where we all know we're capable of. Like everyone in there is trying their best to be the best version of themselves, and for whatever reason it hasn't come together. But I think you can see with the way that everyone fought this year that they never gave up, and even in certain games where you felt like we were out of it and we were able to come back, I think that is going to serve us so well in the long run come next year and even the year after that the story of when we do get back to where we're capable of, it will be pretty special in that aspect.
Absolutely. I mean, opening day will be here before we know it.
It will.
Off season always flies by.
It does.
But something I want to get your opinion on. You're 29. You're not the oldest guy on the team. You're not the youngest guy on the team. Mm-hmm. But what have the, quote, Little Rascals and those younger guys brought to the Rangers clubhouse?
Brought a lot. It's always good to have the young energy in there. It definitely just allows the veterans to kind of banter at them, and then they're all excited to be there. Myself still, I'm one of the younger guys in terms of service time, so it's I still feel like I'm part of that group a little bit. But it's a cool dynamic when you have young guys get up and then they contribute and they know that they belong there, and it adds to just the camaraderie, and ultimately it motivates everyone else. When you see a young guy doing well, you're just automatically motivated by it, and then you want to do better because you're like, okay, well this guy can do it. I know I can do it. So there's so many positives that come out of it, and it's a really cool thing in baseball, sports in general, when you have young guys come up there and compete, because then you just feel like you have sustained success coming.
Absolutely. Real quick before we wrap the show, what are your off-season plans off the field?
Off the field, I've been trying to make Southern California work for a while, and this year it's finally going to come together. So I'll be in San Diego. There's a place out there that does a really good job of taking like a motion capture assessment of your mechanics, where you're at that point of the season, and then I'll take that information and kind of apply it to my goals for the off season, and try to be by the beach as much as I can. I feel like that's the time to take advantage of it, check out a little bit and get at the beach, soak in some vitamin D, and get ready for next year.
Well, Jake, thank you again for your time and for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me. Yep.
And all of my wonderful listeners, thank you guys so much for tuning in throughout the 2025 season. I couldn't be doing this without all of you. So for one last time for this year, signing off from Globe Life Fields, I'm Hannah Wing. We'll see you next year.